Now it's live. Namaskar and welcome to Master Within. This is Orko Prabhu Chatterjee and this is Satyabradha with me today. So
Yes.
today we are going to discuss about a very interesting and important topic. This is man and environment. See, ये बहुत आसान है, लेकिन इसके बारे में डिस्कशन होना भी बहुत जरूरी है, क्योंकि बहुत आसान से चीज भी कभी-कभी हम लोग कई सारे कॉम्प्लेक्सेस के थ्रू जाने के बाद वो आसान एक्चुअली रहता नहीं है. इसलिए आज का डिस्कशन का टॉपिक है मैन एंड एनवायरनमेंट. तो चलिए हम लोग शुरू करते हैं आज का डिस्कशन. ये मास्टर विद इन ऑनलाइन शो, और आशा करता हूँ कि आप लोग ये शो एंजॉय करेंगे, और प्लीज ये लाइव शेयर कर दीजिए और कमेंट कीजिए अपना 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 कमेंट कीजिए, और and let us know your thought about this topic. Satyavradha, would you like to start the discussion about man and
Jai Guru,
environment?
Bande Purushottamam, obeisance at the feet of my master Sri Shri Thakur, Jai Guru Arkoda, and a very good evening to all the viewers of Master Within. It is again a privilege to be here and to discuss such an important topic as man and environment. And thank you, Arkoda, for giving me the opportunity to start today's discussion. At the outset, I would like to begin the discussion with the clarion call of my master Sri Shri Thakur that he gave to someone who was very close to me. He was like a grandfather figure to me. His name is late Shri Trinath Panda. When Trinath Dada met Sri Sri Thakur for the first time, Sri Sri Thakur emphatically said, "My dear boy, serve thyself, serve thy environment. If you serve thyself without serving the environment, your service shall be sterile, your attempts futile, your philosophy blind, and if you are lost, everything is lost for you." Let me repeat, if you are lost, everything is lost for you. Having said this, let me begin the analysis of today's topic by offering the discussion and my ideas at the holy feet of my master Sri Sri Thakur Anukul Chandra. When we speak of man, we mean a person, an individual. And the first basic instinct that comes to my mind when I think of a man, or per se an individual, or any living being, animals, be it insects, even trees, is the indomitable spirit to live and to survive. Survival is the primordial instinct to all living beings. I don't want to die. You don't want to die. No one wants to die. Then, as a matter of fact, a creature as small as an ant, if you look at a creature as small as an ant, that ant carries food twice its own weight and works extremely hard in order to survive. The same ant, if crumpled under someone's feet by mistake, still tries to live, even if it is half broken, and it continues to try and to struggle to its last breath. This is the survival. This is a struggle for survival inherent in everyone. Even those who say that they want to die say that they would live after their death, as in, if I die I would live. This is what basically they say. In fact, the will or the urge to survive is at the root cause of evolution. So and so that Charles Darwin, the father of evolution, coined the term survival of the fittest to emphasize and amplify the fact that the will to survive is so inherent between all species that they had to fight, was so inherent that within all species that evolved, that they had to fight over the limited resources that nature provides us, and only the fittest survived and will continue to do so. To ensure the continued growth, ensure the continued existence of each and every species, growth is necessary, because I cannot continue living forever. So growth is necessary, and we all need to grow together as a species. So how do we grow? We grow through reproductive means, through reproduction. But each and every species also grew in their intelligence, in the sense that they had to adapt to the changing dynamics of their surroundings. We humans, as Homo sapiens, among many other species, were endowed with a superior, complex, developed brain, which is our brain, of course, and superiorly self-aware and surrounding, the sort of empathetic consciousness that not only ensured our survival but also spurred our becoming. Think about the first man that would have invented a pot to store rainwater for himself and his fellow humans. Think about the first person who would have come up with the idea of a wheel. Think about the first man who would have thought to create symbols, to come up with a structure to language, and to record events. Think about those who would have thought about numbers to calculate and quantify nature. Advances in science, technology, medicine, history, arts, and all the other events which propelled man to its current scenario are synonymous with our struggle of survival. So, to each man, the basic primordial instinct can hence be called as being and becoming, which is life and growth. And this is a term which was coined by my master Sri Thakur. On to you, Rohanda, and please do share your thoughts.
Yes, thank you, Satyavajda. And my thoughts about this topic. See, we human beings are the rulers of this ecosystem or the environment. So today we are getting very good doctors, engineers, technicians, but we do need them. But what we need most importantly is good human being, responsible human being. Now, uh, if we think about the word responsibility, if we break it, we will get that responsibility means the ability to respond. Now, whom to respond? We respond to many people. We respond to our environment, but we somehow have we somehow are forgetting to respond to ourselves. तो जिम्मेदार होना जरूरी है, और जिम्मेदारी उठाना, जिम्मेदारी निभाना, वो ऐसा एक चीज है कि हम लोग तो अंग्रेज नहीं है कि जो यहाँ से मतलब get anything, get everything from the bank of the Ganges and dump in the bank of their river. तो ऐसे तो हो नहीं सकता, हम लोग तो यहीं पे रहेंगे. ये जो मतलब अर्थ इज अ होम टू अस ऑल. तो हम लोग तो ऐसा नहीं है कि यहाँ पे लूट लूट करने के लिए आए हैं, हम लोग तो यहाँ पे रहने के लिए आए हैं. तो जिम्मेदारी बनता है. अब जिम्मेदारी ऐसा चीज है कि उसको समझना बहुत जरूरी है. अब ये है रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी जो अपने आप को अपने आप से रिस्पॉन्ड करना है. अब वो कैसे कर सकते हैं हम? उसके लिए जरूरी है कि ये चीज को समझना कि किसी मतलब हम लोग का जो एग्जिस्टेंस है वो अकेले हम लोग अकेले हम लोग का एग्जिस्टेंस बरकरार नहीं रख सकते. जो ऑक्सीजन लेते हैं हम लोग, जो पानी पीते हैं हम लोग, जो खाना खाते हैं हम लोग, वो सब किसी और का देन है. अकेले अकेले हम लोग कुछ नहीं कर सकते. तो इसके लिए जो पूरा इकोसिस्टम है, जो पूरा ये एक बहुत बड़ा परिवार की तरह है. तो इसके लिए उसका ख्याल रखना जरूरी है. और ऐसा है कि इसको कहते हैं, एक टर्म है हिंदी में जिसको कहते हैं भाईचारा, अंग्रेजी में ब्रदरहुड. अब ब्रदरहुड कैसे बनता है? ब्रदरहुड इकोसिस्टम में, एनवायरनमेंट में बहुत जरूरी है. ब्रदरहुड मैं अपने भाई से इसलिए बहुत प्यार कर सकता हूँ क्योंकि वो मेरे पिताजी के मतलब he is also another son of my father. That is why I love him. तो उसके लिए एक कॉमन आइडियल होना बहुत जरूरी है, जिसके साय में हम सब अपने आप में मतलब कोई क्लैश नहीं होगा. लेकिन ये जो ट्रांजैक्शन होता है, जो इम्पल्स का ट्रांजैक्शन होता है, वो बहुत अच्छी तरीके से होगा. यही है रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी, और इसको समझने के लिए एक डेमोन्स्ट्रेटर चाहिए हम लोग को, जो मतलब जो करके दिखाएगा ये सब। उसको कहते हैं आचार्य, जो करके दिखाता है। क्योंकि वैसे तो समझना बहुत मुश्किल है। कोई भी लॉ, कोई भी लॉ, नेचर्स का लॉ हो या किसी और चीज का लॉ हो, वो समझना बहुत मुश्किल है। जब जब कोई करके दिखाता है तब उसको समझ पाना आसान हो जाता है। तो जो अब जो ये जो रिलेशन है मैन और एनवायरनमेंट के साथ रिलेशन है, उसमें बहुत सारे इम्पल्सिस का ट्रांजैक्शन होता है। और उस इम्पल्सिस के ट्रांजैक्शन के जब समय जो चीज मतलब हर कोई अपने आप को ज्यादा मतलब अपने आप को प्रूव करना चाहेगा उसमें वहां पे, तो ये नेचुरल है। ये एकदम से नेचुरल है। लेकिन यही चीज अगर जो लिमिट है उसको क्रॉस करके जाए, मैं किसी और को मैं किसी और का एग्जिस्टेंस को हैम्पर करके मैं अपना एग्जिस्टेंस को अगर बरकरार रखना चाहता हूँ, जो कि लॉन्ग टर्म में मुझको ही बैकफायर करेगा। मैं अगर किसी दूसरे का एग्जिस्टेंस को हानि पहुंचाता हूँ, तो वो मुझे ही अपना खुद का मेरा एग्जिस्टेंस को बैकफायर करेगा इन द लॉन्ग रन। ये समझने के लिए एक डेमोन्स्ट्रेटर की जरूरत है। और डेमोन्स्ट्रेटर के बारे में सत्यव्रत को क्या कहना है? सत्यव्रत, यू आर म्यूट।
Thank you, Arkuda. Now, before I go to demonstrator as a whole, I would specifically like to, because you spoke about individual and one individual's responsibility to its environment, which requires a person's character and conduct to be adjusted in such a way that they are fulfilling themselves and others. So I was also at the stage of an individual where I spoke about individual as being one whose basic instinct, whose basic primordial instinct is that of being and becoming, that is life and growth. Any individual wants to live and wants to grow. I would like to take forward the discussion from that point and also discuss a little bit about individual before I go to the concept of demonstrator that you spoke very passionately about. Now, when I look at the concept of an environment of an individual, I specifically, this is my classification, and others would, of course, would vary from how I classify things, and there would be difference of opinion. I would like to classify environment into three classes. Primary environment. Now, primary environment is that which directly affects the life of an individual. It can comprise of father, mother, brother, sister, family, or or one side. This is one side of the things, because we are in direct touch with them. They are our direct response to, they are our, they are someone to who we directly respond to and who affect our lives directly. On the other hand, we have food, we have water, we have trees, we have air, we have nature, shelter, which is on the other side. Now, life of every living being in the primary environment and the availability of the other resources that I spoke about, food, water, shelter, and life of every living being, as in life of father, mother, and sister, family, and so on, they are critical to any individual survival. This is what comprises of primary environment. The second way of classifying environment is the secondary environment. Now, I would think of secondary environment as comprising of those who constitute our immediate neighbors, who constitute our society where we stay, maybe our surroundings, and also, of course, the natural surrounding in which we stay. Reason being, if your surrounding is say dirty and unhygienic, you are going to fall sick. We had many examples wherein you had these cholera pandemic, in fact corona pandemic as well. Cholera pandemic was something which was created due to unhygiene in water and food. Now, if your neighbors are also affected by certain disease such as say corona, which is currently the scenario, you are also going to put your life into high risk. So secondary environment are those who are very near to you, maybe stay in your surroundings, that constitutes your natural surrounding as well, in terms of living as well as non-living things that we are looking into. Now, the third type of environment that I would like to talk about is tertiary environment. Now, this comprises of those who are not in directly touch with us, but who some way or the other affect our lives. Think about the soldiers, fighting for our security on the borders. Think about that farmer that grew a particular crop, and that who provided you food material, raw material in terms of food for you to consume. Think about that insect, a small moth, who is responsible for giving you silk, even cotton and wool for the clothes that you wear. These are individuals who are not in directly touch with us, but who in every way affect our lives. And if anything happens to them, our life will also be, our life quality and our life expectancy, everything will be at a risk. Therefore, environment of an individual is critical to his or her survival. Now, this brings us to another philosophical rhetoric. On one side we have man, and on the other side we have environment. We understand that environment is very critical to a man's life and growth. But what about existence of environment? Does it depend in any way on the existence of a man? Strictly speaking, yes. Let me demonstrate what I mean. My environment comprises of my father, my mother, my sister, my brother, my family, the surrounding where I stay, the PG where I stay, say, the city where I stay. This is my environment. Now, if I don't exist, my concept of environment also does not exist. My environment exists because I exist. Similarly, you or Kuda, your environment exists because you exist. Think about an hypothetical situation where all of mankind is wiped out, maybe due to natural disaster, or maybe due to say a pandemic such as corona. We won't be even having this discussion. Nature would still exist, but the environment that we are talking about won't exist because we don't exist. Therefore, man and environment are two sides of the same coin. And one thing is, the thing that connects both man and environment is existence. It is existence which connects man to its environment. Man exists, therefore environment exists. A proper healthy environment exists, therefore man exists. Hence, existence or existentialism is critical to is that bridge which brings together man and environment and completes the entire picture. Now, at the root of existentialism lies dharma. Dharma is not Hindu dharma. Dharma is not Musalman dharma. Dharma is not Christian dharma. It's not Buddhist dharma. These are other views. Like our master says, Hindu dharma, Musalman dharma, Christian dharma are ways to lead life. We need to understand what is dharma, because we know that at the end, at the root of existence is dharma. Let us interactively think about dharma. My dharma is to eat at proper time. My dharma is to take bath at proper time. I could not take bath at say night, one day at night 2 o'clock, and in the other day at morning 10 o'clock, or some day at evening 6 o'clock. If I don't have a particular life, if I don't have a particular timeline to my duties and to my routines, then I'm going to fall sick. My dharma is to obey my clock cycle, a particular streamlined, disciplined life which will exist, which will uphold my existence. you know when I speak of dharma, I should not eat that food which will affect my health. I should, because these are corona times, I should maintain proper social distance from others. That is my dharma, because my dharma is to uphold my existence, existentialism. It's my dharma. We speak about, no, we speak about brother dharma, bhratri dharma. We talk about pitri dharma. We talk about matri dharma. Pita and mata, our mother and father, are the root cause of our existence, and we have a duty for them. We talk about societal dharma, what we need to do for our society. So how do we define dharma? To uphold dharma is that, if I have to this the dharma, if I have to define dharma, this, I would say, the stay of all existence is dharma. The upholding urge of our existence is dharma. What makes our life, what makes us live with healthy maintenance and growth is dharma. To achieve bliss in conduct and character is dharma. To uphold one's life and growth with that of others, which are our surroundings, is dharma. So dharma is, therefore dharma is something which is essential to our life, because it is essential to our existence, and it is that force which aims at, a rational adjustment of psychophysical traits by which one can achieve the personality of an adjusted becoming with the specific characteristics of a man, which would who would evolve normally with his environment. What do I mean? If I do not have rational adjustment of my psychophysical traits, or if an individual would not have, because you were saying that or you were saying that man responds, it is his response ability. In general, men are self-centric. We do not, because we were having some days back a discussion about, our whether we are aware, socially aware, whether we are mentally well, whether we are physically well, and whether we have social health. So a man in general is self-centric. He is not only self-centric, he is not very, socially emphatic, empathetic. Now for this, for us to overcome all of these, to understand that, we should not be self-centric, we should not be, we should have a little bit of social empathy towards others. We perhaps need someone, as you were saying, a realized person who demonstrates through his or her life, who has demonstrated through his life the way to live, the way to exist, and the way to fulfill each individual's specific specification. Now, in other words, if we look at society right now, it is something which is segregated into different fragments. We don't want to coexist. There are wars on all different fronts. You have Indo-Pakistan war, you have Indo-China war, you have Russia, Ukraine war, you have US-Afghanistan war, you have pollution. We have in-house fighting. All houses they don't want to coexist. Everyone fights with every other person. So there is lack of oneness. Now to address this lack of oneness, as I was talking about a realized person, we need again one who can integrate all society and can show us the way to lead life, who has demonstrated, whose life, whose character and conduct are living demonstration of meaningful adjustment and distinct, of meaningful adjustment, whose life is, who you spoke about, Acharya, someone who has shown how to lead life. So only and only if we have a realized person or a living ideal around which mankind can unite, then only we would understand the importance of existentialism and the existential and the then only we would understand the importance of existentialism. We would understand the importance of the responsibility of not only doing for us but also for serving the environment. Like I started in the beginning, serve thyself, serve thy environment. Now, if I do not have that, I am lost. And if I am lost, my environment does not exist and everything is lost around me. On to you, Orkoda.
Satyabradha, now I would like to discuss about something else. I would like to see. We are talking about environment today. So see, now we all know that climate change is real.
Yes.
So what are your thought about climate change? I actually heard a news report uh, from a very authentic website. Now, so they were telling that the gas methane is very much responsible for this climate change. So we have Satyavadita with us. Now I'm talking to the viewers. We have Satyavadita with us, who's a very highly well educated person. Now he would tell about the gas methane and its contribution towards climate change and what we
See,
can do.
ha. So I was wondering before we started the discussion. I had this thing into my mind that we all talk about, coming together as a, as one unit, and we talk about climate change. Now, climate change may, even if you look at climate change, there are, US laws which says that, US does not want to take part in the Paris Agreement, the France Agreement of climate change. You have other societies who do not want to, who do not want to curb their greenhouse emissions. There are developing societies who have their own needs. What you understand from this is there is lack of oneness. We speak about climate change, we do not speak about changing the character of one individual being. We talk about society as a whole. We never concentrate on mankind and man as an individual and different men who will bring up who build up the society. So climate change, as far as I understand, won't work. Any solution towards climate change won't work unless and until mankind works as one unit. And to make mankind work as one unit, we should look at ways in which we can have rational adjustments of each and every psychophysical trait of each and every individual, so that each and every individual is aware that they have to contribute towards the growth of the other. Our achievements are not our achievements until and unless we understand that we whatever we have achieved today is because of the help that we have got from someone else. And someday or the other, if that someone else does not exist, then we won't exist. So this is our direct connection to environment and to man. Because we are talking about environment, this is a physical environment that we are talking about. Physical environment won't change unless man changes, because man is responsible for climate change. Climate change has not happened due to some universal distortion in the due to some physical distortion in the universe. Man himself is responsible for climate change. So individually man has to change, then man will think about changing as a society. And when you think about man changing as a society, you have to think of man as one unit. And to have one unit, you need one. Unless you have one, man is never one unit.
Today we have we have a number of interpretations, and we also don't have the one. I mean, we have the one, but we don't recognize the one. The one which we are referring to, we don't recognize them. We don't recognize him. We don't recognize the one. We failed to recognize the one. Now what happened? See, I also heard from the news report. So they were talking about the gas methane. uh, our food habit is directly related to the to climate change and to the to the production of the gas methane. Now, now if you're going to tell someone that your food habit is contributing, if your food habit is contributing towards climate change, now they will say that don't put ideology on the plate. So people don't know about the meaning of the word ideology. You can't you I mean, ideology is the way. You should eat according to your ideology. You should dress according to your ideology. You should walk according to your ideology. Otherwise you don't follow your ideology, and you don't have any ideology. That is why people are saying that don't put ideology on the plate. We we whatever we do, if we have an ideology, whatever we do according to the ideal. Now, what is the meaning of ideology? Satyabhadra, would you please tell something about what is the meaning of ideology?
Ideology, as far as I understand, ideology is for ideology you need an ideal. Unless and
Yes,
until
of
you
course.
have an ideal, you cannot think of an ideology. Ideology is that which brings together mankind into one particular single unit, and no ideology is successful unless and no ideology is as successful as the ideology of existentialism, the ideology of life, the ideology of growth, the ideology of protecting life, the ideology of protecting growth, and the ideology of fighting against everything which is detrimental to life and growth. And for that, we need an ideal, and searching for an ideal is, of course, something which is different for different people. And I hope that by God's grace, every mankind can unite as under one ideal, under one banner of existentialism, and the one banner of being and becoming, that is life and growth.
So, Satyabhadra, would you tell that what effect should our diet should have according
Huh.
to our ideology?
See, I think that diet is something which is very important, because even I had read a report which said that there are millions and millions of animals who are sacrificed in, say, Japan, and many fishes are killed. You have slaughters of many animals in many treacherous conditions. Now, there is this concept of quantum physics which says that everything around us is vibration. I vibrate in a particular tone, my mind vibrates in a particular, my thoughts are also a result of vibration. The world exists due to vibration. There is this theory which says that when you kill someone, when you kill an animal which has consciousness, animal which has existence, animal which wants to live, when you kill that animal suffers from fear of dying. The fear of dying is also some sort of vibration which has a negative and connotation of energy to it. I had read it. Of course, there will be people who will challenge whatever I say today, but you know, natural disasters such as tsunami and earthquakes, natural disasters such as tsunami and many other phenomenon are also, because our thoughts are also vibration. So natural disasters such as, people would say earthquake is because platonic, there is platonic collision between in the earth's crust, but I would say that vibrations are something which play a very critical pushing factor towards all of this. When you have so many animals being killed, there is, I would say, logically it seems like there would be a negative vibrational energy which would be there in the atmosphere, which would push events in towards a more destructive connotation, towards a more destructive pull of nature, as a result of which our diet directly contributes to maybe the natural disasters which surrounds us. Also, forget about that. When this is very common saying that when you ahar shuddho sattva suddhi, the diet we consume, if I eat non-veg, I would be in general more prone towards being violent. If I am a vegetarian, again there is this concept of whether vegetarian you are also killing a tree, but trees are regenerative; they can regenerate themselves. The person who tells if the person dies, will the person regenerate himself and live again? No. So of course, diet plays a very critical role, and I think diet also plays a very critical role in greenhouse emissions in certain countries, as a result of which there is climate change. So I think that would be my answer.
Yes, absolutely right, Satyabhadra. And yes, that is true. That is absolutely true. And एनवायरमेंट और ये जो क्लाइमेट चेंज हो रहा है, इसके बारे में न्यूज आर्टिकल्स में कई सारे खबरें आ रहे हैं, न्यूज रिपोर्ट में कई सारे इंफॉर्मेशन आ रहा है. देखिए, कुछ चीजें होता है जो साइंस प्रूव कर रहा है, लेकिन साइंस प्रूव कर रहा है मतलब वो चीजें अभी से शुरू हो रहा है ये नहीं है। साइंस उसको शुरू नहीं कर रहा है, वो पहले से ही थे, वो पहले से ही था। अब साइंस उसको प्रूव कर रहा है, और जो साइंटिस्ट लोग जो उसको प्रूव कर रहा है, वो ऐसा ऐसा कभी नहीं हो सकता है कि as soon as something got proven, as soon as something got proven, that will come in front of us। बिजनेस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन से बहुत पैसों की बात है, यहाँ पे बहुत पॉलिटिक्स की बात है। तो ऐसा नहीं हो सकता है कि जो प्रूव हुआ तो अभी तुरंत आपके सामने आ जाएगा, ऐसा नहीं हो सकता है। तो और जो प्रूव हो रहा है, इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि वो तभी से शुरू हुआ, वो पहले से ही था, अब बस उसको प्रूव किया गया है। तो आप क्या मानेंगे? जो सच है वो तो पहले से ही था, उसको प्रूव करने की देर क्यों? मतलब उसको वो जब प्रूव होगा तब से आप उसको मानेंगे, आप पहले से क्यों नहीं उसको मानेंगे? क्योंकि वो अब ये देखिए, जो पहले से जो कॉन्सेप्ट है, जो प्रूफ हो रहा है, वो पहले से था, इसलिए वो कॉन्सेप्ट है। इसका मतलब है पहले भी कोई और उसको प्रूव कर चुका है, इसलिए वो कॉन्सेप्ट है, इसलिए वो कॉन्सेप्ट जिंदा है। तो यही बात है यहाँ पे आता है आइडियोलॉजी। अगर आइडियोलॉजी के साथ हम लोग चलेंगे तो हम लोग मतलब देर नहीं करेंगे, सच्चाई को मानने में हम लोग देर नहीं करेंगे। यही है आइडियोलॉजी के फायदे, इसलिए आइडियोलॉजी होना जरूरी है। और क्लाइमेट चेंज भी है, और कई सारे वजह है जिसके बारे में हम लोगों को अवेयर होना चाहिए, हम लोग को रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी लेना चाहिए। और यही टॉपिक है आज का, जो है मैन एंड एनवायरनमेंट। और आई वुड लाइक टू टेक comment from Shikumar Da. Shikumar Da has commented that there is an ecological coordination among ideal individual environment. This factor is the cause of existence. Yes, absolutely, it is the cause of existence, and we need such personalities who will, will establish the coordination, isn't it, Satyabhadra? We need such personalities.
Yes, ideal is that realized person who brings about the psychophysical, adjustment of traits within a particular individual, who follows the ideal, with all his love. As we were reading some time back, it is urge which converts to energy, and energy which converts to work. If you have, if you have a living ideal in your life, if you have a superior beloved in your life, and if you have devotion for your superior beloved, this urge towards fulfilling your superior beloved or your ideal would bring about psychophysical rational adjustments within yourself, and you would become you would also bring the master, make the master arise within. This is the entire concept of master within. If master within arises not, so the ideal is central, as Rikumar Das said. Ideal is central to ecological coordination between individual and environment, because ideal is one who would bring about all those rational physical adjustment of traits and help man to exist and to coexist.
So I would like to say to our viewers that we are conducting a very short session today, and our topic is man and environment. I hope you are enjoying this, today's session. If you do, please let us know by commenting, and please share this live. And Satyabhadra, I would, do you have any other thing to add, or would you like to wrap up today's session, because we are, I think it's time to, it's 39
Yeah.
minutes and we are about to end this session.
So today's discussion was very critical. I hope that, as Rikumar reiterated, the root factor between our existence, the root coordination between our existence is and our environment, between our existence and our environment, is an ideal. So I hope, everyone realizes the necessity to have a superior beloved in life, to search for the superior beloved in life, to search for the truth, and to find the path and to walk on the path with devotion, with devotion, with willpower, to overcome all obstacles, to exist and also to let others exist, to achieve success, and to also be the cause for the success of others. That would be what I would like to say at the end. And I would like to thank Orkoda, and I would like to thank our viewers who came together to see whatever we tried to present today. And I hope by our master's grace, we have been able to communicate certain ideas. If we have any, there would be people who differ, and we would humbly accept your difference, and we would love to hear from you as well over our mail, master within mail, that Arkoda would share, and we would love to communicate and to discuss our differences and to settle them.
I
Jai
hope
Guru.
our I hope our viewers would find this video somehow, anyhow useful, and please let us know by commenting uh, about your thoughts on this topic and our discussion, man and environment. Now we have our official website. We have relaunched it, masterwithin.org. Please visit the website. We have a number of articles there, uh, which are very necessary to understand the ideology of Sri Thakur Anukul Chandra Chakraborty, and we are uh, we are releasing regular videos, short videos on from our YouTube channel Master Within, and we are also releasing videos on our another YouTube channel which is Master Within Bengali. We are releasing content in Bengali there, so please subscribe to our channels, and Joy Guru to you all. We will see you next Sunday at 7:30. Joy Guru.
Jai Guru.